Hello again. Well, today I'm going to do a painting which is a little bit different from things I've done in the past. First of all, I'm not using canvas today. I've decided to use a much smoother surface, which is something I haven't done for years. So it'll be interesting to see how I get on with the acrylic on sort of a heavy paper. It's much smoother, therefore the paint will go on much smoother. However, it does mean that it can carry a bit more detail as well. But I find this photograph that because at the moment we're just sort of coming out of our winter, coming into the spring, we've had a few warm temperatures, and at this time of the year you always look forward to the summer. And I found this lovely summery photograph that I'd taken on the Greek island of Skiathos a number of years ago, and I just thought it was lovely. I just loved the old character building in the background, the lovely trees, and the sunflower as well in the foreground. And there's a bit of a stone wall here as well, and it's just very warm looking and very summery. And I thought, now that would be an interesting challenge. So that's my job for today. So hopefully I'll have something really summery looking and warm, really something that hopefully will warm my hands off it whenever it's finished. That's the effect I'm after anyway, so let's see what happens. Okay, so as per usual, I apologise for the creaky floorboard. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Right, as per usual, lovely, lovely, lovely pale blue sky. I'm just going to put a bit of water on there first, just to prepare the surface a wee bit. I'll probably come down to about there, around 2/3 of the way down, because and incidentally, I'm doing this very much freestyle in the sense I'm not putting a strict border on the paper. I'm just going to lather on the paint and basically play it by ear and see whether you always look on the start of a painting as a bit of an adventure. I don't know where it's going to lead to, and I rather like the idea of that. I have no idea what is going to end up on this canvas, on this piece of paper when I finish, so in some ways it is a real adventure. I'm just putting a couple of little wispy clouds in there. Nice summery clouds, nothing threatening. I just want to make the top of them sort of really okay, just a few wispy clouds, very much in the background. So I think I'm happy enough. I might just bring this down a wee bit further, down to the bottom, a bit further down. And as you can see, it's sort of, as it gets further to the bottom of the page, it'll just sort of fade away. There's a lot going on in this area, so I'm not too concerned at this point in detail. Okay, well, I think we'll leave the sky at that. I always like to put the basics of the tree on. I realise it sort of looks like a winter scene at the moment because the trees have got no life on it. The ground's white. It could very easily, but this is just sort of the skeleton, I suppose, of what's going to appear. Okay, I've started to add the sort of the really dark shades of the tree, and they really are dark. I mean, there's a real contrast in this painting between sort of the brightness of the sunshine and then the darkness of the shadows. I quite like that about that, and it's sort of starting to come out now. So I've sort of put in the darker shades in the tree as very much the background, and eventually I'll bring the whole thing forward and it'll look much brighter. Okay, a bit of a progress report. We're starting. There was still a lot to do. I'm starting to get the form of the trees on now. I'm still not 100% happy with the colours. They're too inconsistent. Oh, by the way, just ignore that drop of black paint. Bit of an accident, but we're starting to get there, and we're making progress. I think the next thing I'll do is try again. I'm just waiting for this paint to dry on here, and then I'm going to try highlighting the trees and finishing off these trees here. And then there's sort of a hedge going on here and the sunflower here, and that'll finish it off. So yeah, we're getting there. It's a very slow, it's not going quite as well as I would have liked, but we're getting there. Okay, progress update. I'm leaving sort of the trees and everything to dry now. I think I'll leave those for now, and I'm starting to put on the foreground. So there's lots of grasses and things going on in the foreground here. I'm going to start putting in like a natural stone wall in this section here, so I'm going to start putting that in, and then to round the whole thing off, right at the front of the photograph is this big sunflower which will sort of dominate this part, and then I just need to finish off the house, and that'll be it. So so far so good. I'm quite pleased with it so far. The tree's been a bit of a trial, but we're getting there. Okay, so I think I've more or less finished that, but I might touch it up a little bit later. Okay, so finally, before I start finishing off things, I need to put this sunflower, which is going to go right in here. It's going to sort of dominate this part of the painting. So the flower head is going to be around about there, with the stalk coming down here. So okay, this should be interesting. Wish me luck. I'm not exactly sure what these round things are. I mean, they look, from the photograph and from what I remember, they just look like big plates. They look like big, like almost like big serving plates that for some reason had been stuck into the wall. I presume for decoration. I can't think whether it be some a religious connotation or what. I've no idea. It was just very odd, but created a very nice pattern. Right, well, I'm just going to add a few finishing touches now. And then I think that's as far as I'm going to take it. So there's just a few little highlights that I want to do. Okay, well, I think that's it. I think I'm happy with the result. It looks quite bright, quite sunny. I think it's worked quite well. I didn't want to make it too tight and too restricting. It's a different experience painting on paper than it is with canvas. Very, very different. But I think I've taken it as far as I'm going to take it. I think I'm going to leave it now. I don't even think that in 2 hours time they'll be touching up. I think I'll leave it as it is in its raw natural state. So yeah, I quite like it.